In this lecture, we will see the developing a decade counter using the different method. In previous method, we have used the for loop and we have designed a decade counter. But in this lecture, we will see how to write a function in a different file, and we will call that file in our program and we will execute the decoder. So before, first I need to write the header file, that is the file which I will call in my function. So for that, I'll open the Genie, take a new script. I'll write only the function which I need to call in my main program. So this will be the function, that is 7-segment function from the previous videos which we all know. So I'll start my 7-segment function, void 7-segment and once this function is done, I'll save it. I'll save it in the same directory. I'll save it as 7seg.h. Remember that I'm saving it as .h file, which means that I'll call it in the header in my main program. So I'll save it. Now I'll take one more script and in here I'll write the main program and I'll call the 7.7segment.h in this function. So I'll start hash include avr.io.h hash include util delay.h. So I need to add one more header, that is 7segment.h. So hash include 7seg.h. So this is like calling one more function, that is adding one more header to the main function. Next will be my main, void and I'll declare one more function here. So that is the header file I have included. But in header file we have included the function, right? So I need to declare that function also here. So void 7seg.h, sorry, 7seg int, because in that header file we are using a function 7seg and that requires the argument. To understand, to make it, to give the inputs there, we should give the inputs from this program to, and we will call that function in as an header file and then we will execute our program. Int main void, and in this first I need to declare an array of constants because I will count from 0 to 9. So I need to declare it in an array form because I'm writing a program for decode counter. Also I'm using the function external header file. So how many times this function should repeat? So for that I'm declaring an array of integers which will have a values of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So once this is done, I'll declare integer I, and then the hardware remains the same declaration. The declaration of direction registers remains the same. So DDR 0B 111 and the declaration of port B will be 000 and 1. So here I'll start the while loop. While 1, it will execute this thing. So in here I'll call a for loop. For I is equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. In for loop, I'll write a function. So I'll call this function. So 7 segment, and I'll pass the array, complete array here. So P of I. I'll pass P of I. I'll give a delay of 1000 milliseconds. I'll close for loop. I'll close while. Return 0. And I'll close the main function. So this is the function for the delay, but we are declaring the function in one more file, that is this 7 segment file. Here is my function. So I'll declare it as an header file where it will be having a function written here. So I'll pass the value of for this function in this function as 7 segment P of I. So it will count for 10 times. It will go here and give the value in this 7 segment function, and it will particularly switch the cases, and it will switch the cases, and it will keep displaying the counter, keep displaying numbers from 0 to 9. So I'll save it. So remember that both should be in the same directory, 7 segment.h as well as the one which we are doing it now. So as this is a counter using header, I'll write it as counter header dot c, and I'll save it. These are the hardware components required for the setup. So let's begin the connection as shown in the table. So let's first connect the second pin on the Arduino to the A pin on the 7 segment, third pin on the Arduino to the B pin on the 7 segment, fourth pin on the Arduino to the C pin on the 7 segment. Next, connect the COM pin on the 7 segment to one side of the breadboard. So we should connect VCC 5 volts to this pin. So let's connect that to the VCC here. Next, connect 5th pin on the Arduino to the D pin on the 7th segment. 6th pin on the Arduino to the E pin on the 7th segment. 7th pin from the Arduino to the F pin on the 7th segment. 8th pin on the Arduino to the G pin on the 7th segment. So once the hardware is complete, we'll plug the Arduino to the board. Go to the terminal and go to the directory and type make fname equals counter HDR header and hit enter. So there is some error here. Okay, here so next go back to the terminal, to the directory and type make fname equals array, hit enter, and you can see that number start counting from 0 to 9. So the same way it keeps repeating the count from 0 to 9, but the only difference is in the program. Here the program we are using external header file which we have created called 7segment.h. We will call that header file and execute this program in different way. Thank you.